Giving all praises to your help, Bashem Hashab, Bashem Makakudah, Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of your elect. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, Nero prophesied that he would come back. And he did, as Nero 47. So, here we go. Let me do this. Oh, here it is right here. What was the prophecy of Nero? It caught my eye, so I said, let me click on it. So it says, Nero redivivos. Redivivos is Latin for reincarnation. Re meaning back to. D of vivos, life. Back to life. What was that song? Back to life, back to reality. What was the name of the group? And when you listen to that song, the main singer, I forget her name, somebody help me out. Back to life, back to the here and now. Anyway, that was about an out-of-body experience. It wasn't you thinking it was a love story. It was an out-of-body. She almost died and she came back from the dead. And I believe she said she saw the Most High. So she wrote a song about it. Whenever do you need me? Somebody help me out with the song. Put it up, put it in the chat. So anyway, we here at GMS, I guess start with myself. That when this guy Trump came into office, we said that that's Nero. We narrowed it down to Nero. At first we thought maybe this was Herod. And it could be Herod and Nero, because you come back, you know, more than once. So it says, Nero redivivos, back of life, or back to life. The Nero redivivos legend was a belief popular during the first part of the first century that the Roman Emperor Nero would return after his death in 68. He committed suicide. And he said, you're going to lose a great artist in Latin. And he offed himself. But he did say he was going to come back. So they had people, well, I'm going to read on. It says, so he wasn't lying. The Nero redivivos legend was a belief popular during the last part of the first century that the Roman Emperor Nero would return after his death in 68 AD because he committed suicide, like I said. Now, he has a cult following, so if he said that now, people, these red hats would believe that shit. The legend was a common belief as late as the 5th century. We're talking about 400, 500 years in. So they were telling their children, you know Nero coming back. And they believed that shit. The belief was either the result of or cause of several imposters who posed as Nero leading rebellions. Let's look at some more. Did the Emperor Nero confess to starting a fire that burned down most of Rome? I'm going to say no. 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 I'm going to read no more. And we know the real deal. He says things, I didn't do that, and he did, and everything points to him. What is Nero's last words before he died? Nero prepared himself for suicide, pacing up and down, muttering, "Qui elis artifex artis perio." What an artist the world is losing. And that's what, and look at him. you tell me that this ain't this guy? And even in his death, when he committed suicide, he said, "You don't know, you losing something, and I'm gonna come back any goddamn way." So he has to be the last emperor. Was Nero ever mentioned in the Bible? No, his father was Claudius. Was Nero a good or bad emperor? Nero was not a great emperor. He was by far not the monster later regimes would paint him as. His downfall was a aristocracy of Rome. What's the aristocracy of Rome? He rubbed elbows with the super rich. He used them red hats to get them in. As the taxes he levied to rebuild Rome were unpopular, and by the way, a tariff is another way of saying a tax. It's nothing but a hidden tax. With the class who paid them, yeah, the working class. After the Great Fire of Rome, 64 AD, Nero implemented a massive rebuilding program, including the vast Domus Aurea, Golden House. Doesn't he have when he came in? This is talking about the Golden Dome, right? Palace, and establishes new building codes for fire safety. To shift blame, he scapegoated the Israelites, leading to the first organized persecution of the sect. The Israelites. This is what he's doing right now. Nero also sought to reconstruct the city in the Greek style and offered aid to the homeless. Well, he ain't offering aid to the homeless now. What was Nero's famous quote? Nero's most famous quote: "What an artist dies in me. How I wish I had never learned to write." Statement signing his death warrant. He expressed when signing his death warrant early in his reign. Other notable include declaration that an emperor's role is to be an entertainer, that he is living badly and disgracefully, and a query about whether he has any friends or foes. Who's the worst emperor of Rome? Oh, Caligula. Yeah, he a real sick bastard. Did Nero declare himself a god? What caused Nero's downfall? This will be the last one. Nero's downfall was caused by a combination of extravagant and unpopular lifestyle, financial mismanagement, the perceived corruption of his reign, and ultimately widespread revolt and loss of a support from the army. Remember they had the meeting, them generals, they wasn't happy. And the Senate, his ambitious building projects such as the Domus Aurea, which is the Golden Dome, alienated the elite, while his involvement in artistic contests, often Roman traditional values, when the Piso conspiracy failed. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to go all into it. But anyway, the Golden Dome, right? What they call it? Trump. Was it Golden Era? Trump Golden Ballroom. Let me see. Let me click on this. President Trump announces the Golden Dome missile. The Golden Dome missile. Well, it was Nero when his lifetime when you had a Golden Dome that protected the Nero. Right, Golden Dome. When you come on, let's come on back. The Golden Dome, right? The Golden Dome. This is called the Golden Dome. China may have beaten us to Golden Dome homeland defense. So now let's come on back. Give me a second here. Right, Golden House or Domos, which is dome. Or dome is domicile era, right? Golden House. So let's come on back over here. The AI challenge. Analyzing the brains behind Trump's Golden Dome missile. Let's open it up. Flight plan. Golden Dome missile defense. So when they go to shoot at the U.S., they're protected by a dome. Right? Now, I'm going to give you one precept, then I'm going to close. One precept come to mind, and that's Nahum 3. So that dome is not going to work. The golden age, right? He set up a golden age. Let me see here. Nahum 3. Remember the scriptures are written in code. Well, that's talking about Nineveh, but this is code for Babylon the Great. Give me a second here. Well-favored harlot. Whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations, as Revelation 17, through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft. Their power comes from the left-hand side of the spiritual realm. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Somebody put you in the stocks and they're looking at you. So America's become a gazing stock. He's through his actions, he's isolated. He's pretty much isolated himself as far as the other, systems are concerned. Let me see something better. Popular, no. You really got to read this whole chapter. All thy strongholds, your golden dome, all thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first. That's your missile system, your missile defense system, with the first figs, If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. Your men, they're going to bitch up. The gates of thy land, the missiles, the golden domes missile system, shall be set wide open unto the enemies. Russia, China, whatever nations possess these long-range missiles, which includes NATO, because NATO's going to shoot on you too. The fire shall devour thy bars, thy system. There shall the fire, that fire, there shall the fire devour thee. The sword shall cut thee, the sword is the missile, off. It shall eat thee up like the cankerworm. What does the cankerworm do? Cankerworms, they eat up your crops quick, just like the what do you call it? The locusts, grasshoppers, locusts. They eat the crop. They come in swarms. Like make thyself many as the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the locust. Remember, said cankerworm and locust. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The cankerworm spoileth and fleeth away. Thy crowns are as the locusts, and the captains as the great grasshoppers. And this is talking about your destruction too, the missiles. When you go to Revelation chapter 9, it speaks about scorpions. Matter of fact, let me go to that. Revelation 9. Revelation 9. This is what John saw. What John saw, Nahum the prophet saw the same thing. When Nahum was seeing those prophecies, he was looking at Babylon being destroyed. Let me see something. Right, locusts. They weren't locusts, they were planes. Just come on back. Now I'm going to look up the word locust in the Hebrew. Okay, where's locust? Locust. I'm going to look up cankerworm. Cankerworm. The word there is yalak, young locust, early stage of development, caterpillar, as devouring. They chew up your crops. So that's considered a young locust. So a cankerworm or a caterpillar, they chew up your crop. That's a curse to them. From an unused root meaning to lick up. Right. They lick up your crop. So when you go back to Revelation 9, it mentions locusts, but they weren't locusts. They were the fighter planes, the dog fighters, and during World War I. So this man is done, man. Remember, and it's October, November, December, January. It'll be 250 years that this man. What is it? What did it say? The average lifespan of an empire? This is an empire. 250 years. So anyway, shalom, on to the next.